Hello everyone, I am Boiler and I welcome you to another Starfield video. So, ever since we had the big gameplay reveal a few weeks ago, I was wondering one thing. How will planets work exactly in the game? I mean, we do have a few infos about that, but there is, well, one big question that has been rolling around in my head that remains unanswered, and today I want to share my thoughts about that. Now, what am I talking about? Let's first look at what we do know. So we do know there are about 100 star systems with somewhere around 1,000 planets or over 1,000 planets in total in those systems. We can jump from system to system. I assume that this will be done by, well, really jumping from one system to another, so we will probably not fly through the space in between. And then within the system, we don't know yet. Will there be like something like super cruise or high-speed travel, or will we also jump from planet to planet? That is something I think we do not know yet. We do know we have free flight in space, but that might just be around planets, and then if we want to go to another planet, we'll have to have some kind of super cruise or something like that. But it could just be that we can really fly to the planets in free flight. I mean, from what I have seen in the video, from Bethesda, planets seem to be pretty close together, so they did not go for a realistic scale. So planets seem to be pretty close to together, and that would mean that we can probably fly between them in free flight. But I really don't know what will be the case here. But that is not what the question that I have is about. So the other thing we know is that there's no seamless transition when landing on planets or when taking off from planets. So whenever you do that, whenever you land or take off, there will be an animation that is played, and that will probably hide a load screen. So we'll probably not get a load screen, but we'll get an animation, and while we watch the animation, probably the game will be loading another world space in the background. So it will be loading a planet or unloading a planet and loading space, depending on which direction we go. And that's the keyword there, this loading thing. Because this game is done in the Bethesda in-house engine. So this is a version of the creation engine that they used for making this game. And we all know how this engine works, more or less, when it comes to the world that we play in. So usually Bethesda uses different world spaces. So if we look at a game like Fallout 4, you have the main world space that represents the map of the Commonwealth. And then you have separate world spaces for things like Diamond City, and of course for all the interiors, and also for add-ons, so like Nuka World and stuff like that. So you have different world spaces representing these different areas that you can play in. And that has been done because, well, because of the consoles mostly, to save on resources. So this, not everything is loaded all the time. So the bigger things have been moved into separate world spaces. And yeah, we have these world spaces. We always had these world spaces in their engine ever since Morrowind. And I mean, all the engines that they have used since then are just an evolution of the Gamebryo engine that they used back in Morrowind, basically. So they always work with these world spaces. Now in Morrowind, they did less of that. The cities were open, and the only world spaces you had that were separate from the city, from the main map, were interiors. So that's that. In Starfield, it looks like we have open cities. Might be wrong about that, but it does look like we'll have open cities, which would be a big step in the right direction because, well, we had that in Morrowind. So it was technically a step back ever since Morrowind not having open cities. But it seems we have that again in Starfield, but I might be wrong about that. But anyway, so what am I going at? If we have world spaces, I'm pretty sure the game will be separated in Starfield will be separated into world spaces as we are used to from Bethesda. I don't think the whole game map will be just one seamless world space. Otherwise, we could have seamless landing and takeoff if that would be the case. So I'm pretty sure from what we know, from the footage we've seen, that each solar system is a world space on its own, and that each planet is a world space on its own. So that much I assume from having seen the footage and from knowing how their engine works on that level. So that's what I feel like. So that means every time you go to a planet, the game is actually loading a new map, a new world space, or whatever you want to call it. And that has brought me to the idea of how will they do planets? I mean, of course, if you are cruising around the solar system, planets are just big orbs in the sky or in space, basically. They're big balls in space, as they should be. But are they still spheres if you land on them once they're loaded in? That's a big question, because that would be a significant change of how the engine works. So far, we only had flat maps, and those work a little bit differently from spherical things. So if you have a flat map, if you want to simulate gravity, it's pretty simple. Gravity pulls everything down. If you have a sphere, it works differently. Gravity has to pull everything to the center. So the code for that, how you do that in a game engine, is pretty different, I think. You know, I'm not a programmer. I can't really tell how big the difference will be from a programming perspective, but I imagine it to be pretty big. And it would also affect stuff like building, because you can't just orient your buildings from your base building on a plane. You would have to orient it towards the center of the planet. So that has got me thinking, are they actually going to do spherical planets once you are in the planet world space? Will planets still be spherical, or will they be represented by just a really huge flat map? That's the question that I want an answer to. Maybe you have some insight into that. Maybe you guys have some information about that I missed. I did a search before I made this video and couldn't really find any information on that. So as far as I know, we're still basically feeding off the knowledge we got from the gameplay reveal and the interview a day later on IGN. So, and in that, I didn't see an answer to my question. I don't know if we have a leak or something, or if there is actually any official information on that came out later that I missed. But as far as I know, there's not. And it's really bugging me. Will we have spherical planets once we are in the planet workspace, or will the game switch to a flat map representation of the planet? And if it does that, how will that work? Is the map just really huge, representing the whole surface area of the planet, or will it be an infinite map that is just procedurally generated the farther you walk away from where you landed, or is it a map that basically wraps around? So if you get to one side of the map, it just wraps around to the other side. I mean, stuff like that can be done. I have no idea. Now, of course, I might just be overthinking that. Maybe it's just spherical planets, even if you are in the planet world space, and I'm just going crazy here. I don't know, but yeah, that's the question that's bugging me. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I hope you are as excited for the game as I am, and I'm really looking forward to more information about it. I will cover that information if it becomes available, and share my thoughts about it. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like below and consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, until next time, I wish you all the best. Have a great time. Be safe. Stay healthy. Bye.